Welcome back. You're watching On Point. Media groups are questioning Malacañang's new media accreditation guidelines. Joining us now via Zoom is the managing editor of Manila Standard and training director of Philippine Press Institute, Joyce Pañares, who served as Malacañang Press Corps President for 5 years under the late President Noynoy Aquino. Joyce, good to have you. Thank you so much for your time.
Hi, Pinky. Good evening to everyone.
So quickly, I just wanted to get your immediate reaction. We can go to the nitty-gritty in a while on this new guideline, supposedly, which is on status quo for now, on this new guidelines for media accreditation in Malacañang.
Okay, so far, no, upon the cursory inspection of the guidelines that was released by Malacañang, by the PCO, concerning lang yung ibang requirements doon, plus the provision dun sa regarding the false reporting. Kasi syempre, may delikado palagi for us para may concern tayo lagi when we surrender that kind of decision making to government or to any regulatory body that would say na this one is false reporting, this is not. Paano kung halimbawa critical lang yung reporting and then it was classified as false reporting, di ba? So, yun yung two main concerns natin doon sa guidelines that was issued.
Yeah, I guess who's to say that's false reporting versus critical reporting? If it does, kung di okay sa panlasa ng gobyerno, pwede nilang isiping false reporting yun. Pero sa atin, pwede namang critical reporting lang yun.
Yes, so delikado siya. It's a slippery slope Pero if you feed that kind of, if you let them decide alin ang false reporting, alin ang hindi, for me, that's a bit uncomfortable, no, for media.
Actually, I'll read that particular sentence. Under implementation of a strict code of conduct, accredited journalists must adhere to professional ethics, dress code, and decorum within Malacañang. That's good. And then the second one was immediate revocation of accreditation for any misconduct. Isa pa yun, may misconduct pa. False reporting, security violations, and any falsification, misrepresentation in the submission of documents. That seems to be so strict.
Well, in terms of falsification of documents, I think that's okay. No, that's part of protocol. They require that from us. Lahat ng nagpapa-accredit sa Malacañang, we're required to send documents that would vet our status as journalist, no? Pero yun nga, kung false reporting siya, yun yung medyo delikado. Kasi unang-una, we do uphold ethical standards. But what we've always been pushing for is self-regulation. Ngayon, kung merong mali doon, edi dapat magkaso. Pero hindi yung napaka-whimsical lang na, ito mali, let's decide na
tatanggalin ka ng immediate revocation kapag ganon. All right. And then, there are other parts here, I'm sure, which you've read, no? The stricter qualifications for accreditation. Ang unang-una kasi nakasulat dito, only seasoned journalists from reputable and established media organizations will be accredited. Okay. Number 2, at least 5 years of professional experience in political or government reporting is required and must be officially certified. Nangyari ba ito before na kinakailangan ng ilang taon ng karanasan sa political or government reporting bago maging payagan ka na maging parte ng Malacañang Press Corps?
So the MPC has its own bylaws. We have our own requirements. Our only requirement is 6 months for new entities. And that's only to ensure that hindi sila fly by night, no? Hindi yung tipong dahil mag-eleksyon, biglang nagkaroon ng dyaryo. Or dahil magpapasko, biglang andyan yung media entity, no? Kaya meron itong 6 months requirement. Pero 6 months lang yun for new entities. So kung halimbawa, bago kang reporter, young reporter, and who's to discriminate, no? Kung bata yung journalist na i-assign natin sa Malacañang. kung bata kang reporter, pero na-assign ka sa isang accredited na media, then there's no requirement for you for any 6 months
I see.
na kailangan nag-exist yung media mo.
So basta sa
I mean,
MPC,
if that set of requirements was in place when I was in Malacañang, I would not have been qualified. I was 21 years old or 20, yeah, I think I was 21 or 22 when I was assigned sa Malacañang. 3 years pa lang akong media nun, journalist.
oo. So hindi ka pasok dito, if ever, dito sa 5 years of professional experience in political or government reporting, which is a part of the requirement. You were saying under the MPC, dun sa bylaws, kailangan yung kumpanya ay in existence for 6 months. And then here,
Yes.
under their qualification, dapat dito limang taon din eh. Media organizations must be in existence for at least 5 years. Kasama din, 5 taon dapat ang kumpanya at yung journalist, 5 years of experience as well. So, meron pa, dadagdagan ko na rin. Journalists must present a track record of ethical and responsible reporting, stringent background checks with media executives, and yun na nga, applicant must have been working in the nominating media outfit for at least 1 year. How do you think, what is a good balance here, Joyce, you think, between the PCO rather, and the Malacañang Press Corps, or the journalists who will eventually be part of the Malacañang Press Corps?
Well, for starters, so nag-meeting na yata sila kanina and they've had a resolution nga to put that on hold. Pero tingin ko importante yon na hindi discriminatory yung policies. Unang-una, newsrooms ang nagde-decide sino ang ide-deploy na journalist. And hindi Malacañang ang dapat nagsasabi na dapat ganito or dapat even that qualification ng 5 years na governance beat. Paano kung inassign ko yung reporter ko na galing BSP? Will they reject it just because galing siyang BSP? Or paano kung kakapasok lang ng reporter pero meron siyang potential? Magaling siya at pwede siyang may assign sa Malacañang Press Corps. I mean, maraming reporters ngayon sa Malacañang Press Corps who are relatively young, no? Not necessarily. And what do you even mean by seasoned? How do they define that?
Yeah. Yeah, good point
I'm
also.
just wondering, yung bang nag-craft nito, are they seasoned as well? Have they spent 5 years in a governance beat? Have they spent, di ba? Parang bakit naman ganun ka discriminatory or medyo questionable yung requirements that they've set for the MPC.
But Joyce, do you think there is any maybe rationale to this? There is a rational part, of course. Nakasulat naman dito sa umpisa, no? Pero may nakikita, I guess ang gusto kong malaman bilang presidente ng MPC for 5 years, do you see anything that needs to be done or changed in order to, siguro, for the accreditation or of journalists in Malacañang? Or do you think the present system is already, it's good, it's working?
Of course, the present system, I would say it's working, no? Pero I'm not saying it's not open for improvement. It can always be improved. Pero I think the basic step there would be mag-dialogue kayo bago kayo mag-craft. Hindi yung nakapag-craft na kayo, saka kayo magda-dialogue. Parang baliktad yung naging proseso. So, if they had consultations before the guidelines was released, baka hindi ganito yung naging response din ng MPC.
Joyce Pañares, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Pinky.
Joyce is the managing editor of Manila Standard and training director again of the Philippine Press Institute. Maraming salamat, Joyce. And that's On Point. Join us again tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. I'm Pinky Webb. Thank you for watching.